Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
May I call upon the majority leader to proceed and lay the paper?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Point of-
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm standing on point of order number 27. Honorable Speaker, that aware that standing on number 27, suborder 2 provides that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 p.m. for the morning sitting. Aware that standing on the number 27, suborder 3 provides that the House may resolve to extend its sitting time. Aware that standing on number 27, suborder 4 requires motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the time appointed of adjournment. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the motion that the House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business at hand is deliberated. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And so I call upon Honorable D to second.
Honorable D.
I second.
Aware that standing order number 27-2 provides that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 p.m. for the morning sitting, and aware that standing order number 27-3 provides that the House may resolve to extend its sitting. Aware that standing order number 27-4 requires motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the time appointed of adjournment. I beg to move the motion that the House resolves to extend its sitting time until the business. I put the question that aware that the standing order number 27-2 provides that the Speaker shall interrupt business at 12:30 p.m. in the morning sitting. Aware that standing order number 27-3 provides that the House may resolve to extend its sitting time. Aware that standing order number 27-4 requires motion to extend sitting time to be moved at least 30 minutes before the time appointed of adjournment. As many as of the opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next. Proceed. Majority Leader, you are proceeding. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, the 15th November 2022. The report of the Committee on Selection and Nomination of Members to Water and Irrigation Committee and Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee and balancing of members in committees.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
May I request Honorable Majority Leader to proceed?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the House approved establishment of 2 new sectoral committees following a request to amend the second schedule of standing orders of the County Assembly by a member and subsequent tabling of a report and the recommendations by Procedure and Rules Committee on 8th November 2022. Aware that the Committee on Selection nominated members to serve in these 2 committees and also undertook balancing of members in committees pursuant to Standing Order 152, Sub-Order 2. Further aware that Standing Order 155, Sub-Order 1 provides that the Committee on Selection shall within 7 days upon nomination of members to serve in any committee of the House present to the House for approval. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice that Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 155, this House approves the appointment of various members to the respective committees as specified in the schedule annexed to the order paper, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Next order. Sorry? Okay. Yes, may I call upon Honorable Peter Kilonzo to proceed and lay the paper.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 195 of the Constitution provides that County Assembly or any of its committee has powers to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. Further aware that Article 183, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution of Kenya, Section 39(2)(b) of the County Government Act 2012, and County Assembly of Machakos Standing Order 41, a statement on institutions masquerading as microfinance institutions by loaning the residents monies and later auctioning their property, which makes the residents of Machakos not safe, was sought in the House on 18th October 2022. Aware that the statement was committed to Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Acknowledging that in executing its mandate, the committee is doing investigations, hearing evidences from the victims, aware that the committee requested for information from the acting county secretary on a number of issues relating to licenses, agreements, and the regulatory framework established for the operation of the microfinance institutions. Further aware that the committee has asked for documents on operation of businesses from the microfinance institutions. Aware that the county secretary and the microfinance are yet to submit the said documents. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that the House resolves to grant the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee 3 weeks to complete the matter and report to the floor of the House on 6th December 2022. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. May I call upon Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, Majority Leader, to proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 10, Article 2 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, provides for the national values and principles of governance being patriotism, national unity, sharing, devolution of power, the rule of law, democracy, and participation of the people. B, human dignity, equity, social justice, inclusiveness, equality, human rights, non-discrimination, and protection of the marginalized. C, good governance, integrity, transparency, and accountability. And D, sustainable development. Honorable Speaker, aware that Article 73 of the Constitution of Kenya stipulates that 1. Authority assigned to a state officer, A, is a public trust to be exercised in a manner that is consistent with the purposes and objects of this Constitution, demonstrates respect for the people, brings honor to the nation and the dignity to the office, and promotes public confidence in the integrity of the office. B, vests in the state officer the responsibility to serve the people rather than the power to rule them. 2, the guiding principles of leadership and integrity include A, selection on the basis of personal integrity, competence, and suitability, or election in free and fair elections. B, objectivity and impartiality in decision making and in ensuring that decisions are not influenced by nepotism, favoritism, other improper motives, or corrupt practices. C, selfless service based solely on public interest, demonstrated by 1, honesty in the execution of public duties, and 2, the declaration on any personal interest that may conflict with public duties. D, accountability to the public for decisions and actions. And E, discipline and commitment in service to the people. Honorable Speaker, appreciating that Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides for the values and principles of public service as A, high standards of professionalism, ethics. B, efficient, effective, and economic use of resources. C, responsive, prompt, effective, impartial, and equitable provision of services. D, involvement of people in the process of policy making. E, accountability for administrative acts. F, transparency and provisions to the public of timely, accurate information. Subject to paragraphs H and I, fair competition and merits as the basis of appointment and promotions. H, presentation of Kenya's diverse communities. I, affording adequate and equal opportunities for appointment, training and advancement at levels of the public service of 1, men and women, 2, the members of all ethnic groups, and 3, persons with disabilities. Honorable Speaker, aware that Article 235(1) of the Constitution of Kenya stipulates that a county government is responsible within a framework of uniform norms and standards prescribed by an Act of Parliament for establishing and abolishing offices in public service. B, appointing members to hold or act in those offices and confirming appointments. And C, exercising disciplinary control over and removing persons holding or acting in those offices. Honorable Speaker, acknowledging that Section 55 of the County Government Act 2022 provides for the objectives of the county public service being A, provide for evaluation and reporting on the extent to which the values and principles referred to in Article 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution are complied with in the county public service. B, provide for the organization, staffing, and functioning of the county public service in ways that ensures efficient, quality, and productive services to the people of the county. C, provide for institutions, system, and mechanisms for human resource utilization and development in a manner that best enhances service delivery by county public service institutions. D, provide a framework of uniform norms and standards to be applied in all counties in respect of 1, establishment and abolition of offices in the county public service. Number 2, appointment of person to hold or act in those offices. 3, confirming appointments. Or 4, exercising disciplinary control over and removal of persons holding or acting in those offices. E, provide for the promotion of values and principles set out in Articles 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution in the county public service. F, provide for human resource management and career development. G, address staff shortages and barriers to staff mobility between counties. H, provide for standards to promote ethical conduct and professionalism in county public service. I, provide for the establishment of county public service boards. And J, make further provisions relating to appeals in respect of county government's public service. Honorable Speaker, further aware that Section 57 of the County Government Act 2012 establishes the County Public Service Board, aware that Section 58, subsection 5 of the same Act states that the members of the board may be removed from office, A, on grounds set out for the removal of members of a constitution commission under Article 251(1) of the Constitution, and by vote of not less than 75% of all members of the County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, acknowledging that Article 251(1) of the Constitution of Kenya provides that a member of a commission, other than an ex officio member or the holder of an independent office, may be removed from office only for A, serious violation of this Constitution or any other law, including a contravention of Chapter 6, B, gross misconduct, whether in the performance of the members or office holders' function or otherwise. C, physical or mental incapacity to perform the function of office. D, incompetence. Or E, bankruptcy. Honorable Speaker, cognizant that Mr. George Kioko Luka, the chairperson of the Machakos County Public Service Board, has committed the offenses. A, that Mr. George Kioko Luka, on the 13th July 2021, proceeded over the inclusion of 4 officers in the payroll by purporting to reinstate them. The said people were never employees of the county government of Machakos. This is gross misconduct in performance of the chairperson's functions. B, that on the 26th April 2021, Mr. George Kioko Luka shared a list of his preferred officers for recruitment to all board members in anticipation of an advertisement that was due to run in the newspaper. That advertisement was in May 2021 and closed on 23rd May 2021. The advertisement was of 21 positions, 20 medical officers, and 1 general surgeon. After the closure of the exercise, he personally and deceitfully added 4 medical officers and 1 surgeon, making a total of 26. This violates Article 73, 2, C, Roman 1 of the Constitution on honesty in the execution of public duties. That Mr. George Kioko Luka has let the board operate without a substantive accounting officer and went into alliance with the secretary who has usurped the powers of both the chief executive officer of the secretariat and the accounting officer to serve his interests at the expense of professionalism expected in the institution. This is a demonstration of incompetence on his part. D, that Mr. George Kioko Luka has constituted an enterprise in the name of recruitment and selection that is normally used for illegal dealings and irregular recruitment. It is simply a criminal enterprise that no law provides for and a serious violation of the law. That on the 26th February 2021, Mr. George Kioko Luka unprocedurally purported to allocate an official vehicle to the vice chairman, KBX 810T, for the single purpose of facilitating the hiring of her son, Samson Sereka, as a driver. Consequently, he was hired on a 3-year contract at Job Group D. The officer was not qualified for the job. This violates Article 73, 2A of the Constitution on selection on the basis of personal integrity, competence, and suitability. The chairperson facilitated the hiring of 9 officers, among them the son of Vice Chairman, the chairperson, Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka, being Boniface Mutunkei Sereka of ID number 29961233. Through abuse of delegated authority on 26 August 2020, the officers were employed on contract effective 4th January 2021 to September 2022. The son was employed at entry level of job group K without necessary qualifications. On the 5th October 2021, in a meeting convened by the chair and chaired by the vice chairperson, in this case mother to Boniface Mutunkei, the terms of the 9 officers were illegally changed to permanent and pensionable terms. This is without regard to the fact that the officers were all employed in constitutional office whose term was to end in August 2022. This is abuse of office and violation of national values and principles of governance as provided for in Article 10 of the Kenyan Constitution 2010. G, the chairperson has failed to address the county's huge wage bill, which is currently at 55.4% instead of 35%, according to Regulation 25(1)(b) of the Public Finance Management, Regulation 2015. Instead, he has been presiding over the payment of huge amounts of money in terms of illegal extraneous and other allowances to his relatives, among them Regina Mwakio Kioko and the vice chairperson's relative, as well as others working for different considerations. For instance, most employees of the County Public Service Board are on extraneous allowances, despite the fact that they report to work at 8 a.m. and leave at 5 p.m. A look at the list of 13 among them, his daughter, include cleaners who are put on extraneous allowances for just doing what they were employed to do. This is violation of national values and principles of governance as provided for in Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010. H, Mr. George Kioko Luka, being the chairperson of the County Public Service Board, has never reported to the County Assembly through a report on the extent to which the values and principles referred to in Articles 10 and Article 232 are complied in the County Assembly. This is according to Section 59, 1F of the County Government Act 2022, a violation of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, aware that Mr. Onesmus Moya Mutesia, the Secretary of the Machakos County Public Service Board, has committed the following offenses. That Mr. Onesmus Moya Mutesia, on 27th April 2020, wrote to the Chief Officer, Department of Public Service and Quality Management, to unlawfully occasion illegal payment of extraneous allowances to 24 officers working in the Public Service Board, including himself. This is a serious violation on Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Kenya. That Mr. Onesmus Moya Mutesia illegally and unlawfully unlawfully listed himself as a beneficiary of extraneous allowances of Kenya shillings 25,000 per month, knowing well that board members are not entitled to the allowance and without knowledge of other board members. This contravenes Article 232(1) A and B on the values and principles of public service, being high standards of professional ethics, efficient, effective, and economic use of resources. C, that Mr. Onesmus Moya has listed one Mr. Joseph Wambua Deputy Secretary stroke CEO for extraneous allowances of Kenya shilling 25,000, knowing very well that such a position does not exist in the board, and therefore that would be a violation of the law. This is misuse of public funds, violation of constitution, and incompetence. D, that Onesimus Moya Mutesia was involved in the awarding of extraneous allowances to 13 officers, including the daughter of the board's chairperson, Ms. Regina Wakio Kioko, and dishonestly concealing the surname to hide identity. This is violation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and misuse of public funds. E, that Mr. Onesimus Moya Mutesia wrote to the Chief Officer, Department of Public Service and Quality Management on the 13th July 2020 to deceitfully purport to reinstate to the payroll 4 officers, claiming that there was a court order to that effect, but where none existed. The said officer had never been in the county's payroll, and the same had been communicated by the CECM Public Service. This contravenes the provision of Article 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya. F, that in the month of August 2021, Mr. Onesimus Moya Mutesia was accused of sexual harassment or intimidation by 2 officers through letters to the county secretary and the county executive committee member for public service and quality management, which letters were copied to all board members through their individual emails, together with evidence in the form of electronic messages. The officers were Helen Musau and Caroline Ndukunzioka. This contravenes the provisions of Articles 232(1)A and 236 of the Constitution of Kenya on the values and principles of public service. This is also gross misconduct. G, that by a letter dated 12 May 2021, Ms. Caroline Ndukunzioka was promoted to the position of Human Resource Management Assistant 1 with effect from 1st January 2021, but her letter held by Mr. Onesimus Moya Mutesia, during which time he was demanding for sexual favors from her. When the same did not succeed, she reported the matter. He went ahead and purported to withdraw the same via letter dated 22nd September 2021 without the due process. This is a serious violation of Article 236B of the Constitution of Kenya. H, that Mr. Onesimus Moya Mutesia unprofessionally uses intimidation and incompetently handles official matters in a way that would jeopardize the operations of the board. He threatens members of the board through advocates to sue when board members are on a different opinion on a matter under consideration. This shows clearly he is incompetent and abuses the office of the Secretary, County Public Service Board. I, that Mr. Onesimus Moya Mutesia, being the Secretary of the County Public Service Board, has never reported to the County Assembly through a report on the extent to which the values and principles referred to in Articles 10 and Article 232 are complied with in the County Assembly. This is according to Section 59A F of the County Government Act 2022. This is a violation of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, further aware that Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka, a member of Machakos Public Service Board, has committed the following offenses. That Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka did not declare conflict of interest during a sitting of 6th August 2022 in the recruitment as, I will take that again. That Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka did not declare conflict of interest during a sitting of 6th August 2020 in the recruitment and selection committee where her son, Mr. Boniface Mutunkei Sereka, was an applicant and was later recruited. This violates Article 73(2)(c), Roman 2 of the Constitution on declaration of personal interest that may conflict with public duties. B, that on 5th October 2021, Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka convened a committee meeting under career progression and the terms of employment of Mr. Boniface Mutunkei Sereka was changed from contract to permanent and pensionable. This also violates Article 73(2)(c), Roman 2 of the Constitution on declaration of personal interest that may conflict with public duties. C, that on the 17th March 2021, under minute number 293/03/2021, the Recruitment and Selection Committee deliberated on the matter of appointment of a driver. This was based on misrepresentation that the vice chairperson was a person living with disability. The committee recommended a personal driver to serve with the official car allocated to her by the chairman, that is the motor vehicle KBX 810T. The deceitful act was made to benefit her and facilitate the hiring of yet another of her sons, namely Samson Sereka, on job group D. This also violates Article 73(2)(c), Roman 2 of the Constitution on declaration of personal interest that may conflict with public duties. D, the above appointment was meant to benefit the vice chairman through appointment of her son. The said son was not qualified for the position, nor was the recruitment competitively done for the benefit of the said officer. It is also worth noting that the members of County Public Service Board have not been provided with official vehicles, and therefore motor vehicle registration number KBX 810T was simply towed to the premises to facilitate the appointment of the son to the vice chairperson. This is serious violation of Article 10 and Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Kenya and gross misconduct. E, that on the 5th October 2010, Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka convened a meeting under career progression and gave extraneous allowances to a group of employees, among them the daughter of the chairperson of County Public Service Board, one Regina Wakio Kioko, Deputy Sub-County Administrator, and a job group P, that is Kenya shilling 25,000, backdated to 1st July 2021. This had been declined earlier in December 2020. This violates Article 73(2)(b) of the Constitution on objectivity and impartiality in decision making. F, that Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka, being the vice chairperson of the County Public Service Board, has never reported to the County Assembly through a report on the extent to which the values and principles referred to in Articles 10 and 232 are complied in the County Assembly. This is according to Section 59A(f) of the County Government Act 2022. This is a violation of the Constitution. 2012. This is a violation of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, further aware that Ms. Telandinda Mudhoka, a member of the Machakos County Public Service Board, has committed the following offenses. A, that Ms. Telandinda Mudhoka was the chairperson of the Recruitment and Selection Committee, which during a meeting on the 26th February 2021, approved appointment of a driver for the vice chairperson, in this case, Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka, one Samson Sereka on job group D. The position had not been advertised. Samson Sereka is a son to Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka, hence conflict of interest. This violates Article 73(2)(c) Roman 2 of the Constitution on declaration of personal interest that may conflict with public duties. B, that on the 17th March 2021, chaired by Ms. Stella Ndinda Muthoka under minute number 293/03/2021, the Recruitment and Selection Committee deliberated on the matter of appointment of a driver. This was based on misinterpretation that the vice chairperson was a person living with a disability. The committee recommended a personal driver to serve with the official car allocated to her by the chairman, KBX 810 team. No certification from Council of Persons Living with Disability was presented to warrant for appointment of a personal driver. This is a violation of Article 10, Chapter 6, and Article 232 of the Constitution. That that Ms. Stella Ndinda Muthoka has involved in undertakings of the Machakos County Public Service Board. I'll take that again. That Ms. Stella Ndinda Muthoka has been involved in undertakings of the Machakos County Public Service Board. There was abuse of office, misinterpretation of funds through A, approval of extraneous allowances for specific officers, yet the officers working on normal office hours and performing the duties listed in the appointment letters. B, recruitment of officers without following the right criteria. C, promotion of officers without following the provision of existing laws and circulars. D, appointment of Mr. Joseph Wambua as the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the County Public Service Board, yet such office does not exist in the Constitution and the County Government Act. This is misuse of public funds, gross misconduct, and violation of Chapter 6 of the Constitution. F, reinstating 4 officers, claiming that there was a court order to that effect, but none existed. The said officers had never been in the county's payroll, and the CECM public service had communicated the same. This contravenes the provisions of Article 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution of Kenya. F, recruitment of 5 extra officers against an advertisement of 21 positions, 20 medical officer and 1 general surgeon. The advertisement closed on 23rd May 2021. After the closure of the exercise, 4 medical officers and 1 surgeon were added to the list, making a total of 26. This violates Article 73(2) C Roman 1 of the Constitution on honesty in execution of public duties. G, he has never reported to the County Assembly through a report on the extent to which the values and principles referred to in Articles 10 and Article 232 are complied in the County Assembly. This is violation of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Article 251, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, and Section 58, Subsection 5 of the County Government Act 2012, I wish to give notice of a motion that this House resolves to I wish to give notice of a motion that this House recommend removal of 1, Mr. George Kioko Luka, Thank you. Well guided. I'll take that again. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Article 251, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, and Section 58, Subsection 5 of the County Government Act 2012, I wish to give notice of motion that this House resolves to recommend removal from office by the Governor of the following. 1, Mr. George Kioko Luka, Chairperson, Machakos County Public Service Board, on grounds of serious violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct and incompetence. 2, Mr. Onesimus Moya Mutisia, Secretary, Machakos County Public Service Board, on the grounds of serious violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct, and incompetence. 3, Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka, Member, Machakos County Public Service Board, on the grounds of serious violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. Number 4, Ms. Stella Nduku Mudhoka, Member, Machakos County Public Service Board, on the grounds of serious violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Next.
Order number 7, statements.
May I call upon the Honorable Nicholas Zioka, Majority Leader, to make the statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met on Monday, 14th November 2022 to prioritize business for the House as forwarded by committees and honorable members pursuant to the provision of Standing Order number 151, Suborder 6D. The committee balloted as follows. Tuesday morning, 15th November 2022 at 10 a.m. A, motion that pursuant to provision of Standing Order number 155, this House approves the appointment of various members to their respective committees as specified in the schedule. And number B, motion that the House resolve to grant the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee 3 weeks to complete the matter on statement and on microfinance institutions and to report on 6th December 2022. 2, Tuesday afternoon, 15th November 2022 at 2:30 p.m. A, motion by Leader of Majority that this House resolve to recommend removal from office by the Governor of the following. 1, Mr. George Kioko Luka, the Chairperson, Machakos County Public Service Board, from the position of Chair on the grounds of serious violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct, and incompetence. Number 2, Mr. Onesimus Moya Mutisia, the Secretary, Machakos County Public Service Board, from the position of Secretary on the grounds of serious violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct, and incompetence. 3, Ms. Cecilia Mbinya Sereka, a member of the Machakos County Public Service Board, from the position of board member on the grounds of serious violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. Number 4, Ms. Stella Nduku Mudhoka, a member of Machakos County Public Service Board, from the position of a board member on the grounds of serious violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. 3, Wednesday morning, 16th November 2022 at 10 a.m., motion that the Department of Health equips Matu Level 4 Hospital with necessary equipment. B, motion that the House resolve to grant the Procedure and House Rules Committee 3 weeks to complete the matter proposed amendment to Standing Orders to report on the 6th December 2022. Wednesday afternoon, 16th November 2022 at 2:30. A, statement on delivery of service delivery in Kangundo Level 4 Hospital. B, motion that pursuant to Standing Order number 189B, this Honorable House approve delegated County Legislation Committee report on consideration of the public finance management, that is Machakos County Government Executive, Staff, Car, and Mortgage Fund regulations of 2022. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of appointment of the members to Water and Irrigation Committee and Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee and balancing of members in committees.
May I call upon Nicholas Nzioka, Leader of Majority, to proceed and move the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, aware that the House approved establishment of 2 new sectoral committees following a request to amend the second schedule of standing orders of the County Assembly by a member and subsequent tabling of a report and recommendations by Procedure and Rules Committee on 8th November 2022, aware that the Committee on Selection nominated members to serve in these 2 new committees and also undertook balancing of members in committees pursuant to Standing Order 152, Sub-Order 2, further aware that Standing Order 155, Sub-Order 1, provides that the Committee on Selection shall within 7 days upon nomination of members to serve in any committee of the House, present to the House for approval. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order number 155, this House approves the appointment of various members to the respective committees as specified in the schedules. Honorable Speaker, I beg to read. The Committee on Decentralized Units and County Administration Committee, the Honorable Farhia Abdi, Honorable Jackson Daka, the Honorable Rafael Lakinzao, the Honorable Ndi Kivuva, the Honorable Stephen Mwandi, the Honorable Brian Kisila, the Honorable Douglas Musyoka, the Honorable Joseph Mulinge, the Honorable Lloyd Mutua, the Honorable Julius Munyoki, the Honorable Mary Kituko, the Honorable Justus Mutuko, and the Honorable Mathias Muasia. Water and Irrigation Committee, the Honorable Irene Molu, Honorable Jeremiah Kaloi, Honorable Helen Deti, Honorable Winfred Mutua, Honorable Daniel Muindi, Honorable Rosina Kanini, Honorable Margaret Dalana, Honorable Mercy Njagi, Honorable Brian Kisila, Honorable Karo Mutuko, Honorable Mary Kituko, Honorable Charles Mbova, and Honorable Paul Wambua. Further, Environment and Natural Resources Committee, the Honorable Judas Ndawa. Committee on Implementation, the Honorable Mercy Njagi. Finally, the Committee on Health and Emergency Services, the Honorable Jackson Daka. Honorable Speaker, before I call a seconder, I would like to thank the Procedure and Rules Committee for considering my request to amend the standing orders and the whole House for agreeing with these recommendations. Again, it is based on the background that we had to make sure we are taking care of each other. I wish also, of course, the Procedure and Rules was under your chairmanship. So, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I also want to thank the honorable members of the Selection Committee for diligently working around this issue so that we have inclusivity and unity in our House. So I'd like to recognize the Honorable Judas Ndawa, the Honorable Catherine Che, the Honorable Catherine Moya, the Honorable Stephen Mwandi, the Honorable Charles Mbova, the Honorable Felix Ngoi, the Honorable Margaret Ndalana, the Honorable Douglas Musyoka, the Honorable Paul Mwanzia, the Honorable Philip Ndolo, the Honorable Justus Mutuko, and the Honorable Phoebe Koki. Of course, under my chairmanship, we struggled a bit, but finally I think we are ready with this committee. And with your permission, Honorable Speaker, I would want to call the minority leader to second.
Minority leader? Thank you. I now propose the question that pursuant to provisions of Standing Order number 155, this House approves the appointment of various members to the respective committees as specified in the schedule that is annexed here too. In the Decentralized Unit and County Administration Committee, we have Honorable Faria Abdi, Honorable Jackson Daka, Honorable Rafael Lakinzao, Honorable Ndi Kivuva, Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Honorable Brian Kisila, Honorable Douglas Musyoka, Honorable Joseph Mulinge, Honorable Lloyd Mutua, Honorable Julius Munyoki, Honorable Mary Kituku, Honorable Justus Mutuku, Honorable Mathias Mwasia. In the Water and Irrigation Committee, we have Honorable Irene Molu, Honorable Jeremiah Kaloi, Honorable Helen Deti, Honorable Winfred Mutua, Honorable Daniel Moindi, Honorable Rosina Kanini, Honorable Margaret Dalana, Honorable Mercy Njagi, Honorable Brian Kisila, Honorable Karo Mutuku, Honorable Mary Kituku, Honorable Charles Mbuva, Honorable Paul Wambua. Environment and Natural Resources Committee, Honorable Judas Ndawa. Committee on Implementation, Honorable Mercy Njagi. Health and Emergency Services Committee, Honorable Jackson Ndaka. I now invite members to debate the motion. Members, the floor is yours. Can I have people contributing to this debate? Mheshimiwa Ndawa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I will start by saying that I'm supporting the report. And secondly, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the committee on selection for coming up with a very clear report. Madam Speaker, looking at the membership of the two committees, the selection committee was very keen to ensure that all the members in this county assembly have enough committees, especially the sectoral committees which normally meet. Sometimes a member is entitled to at least to sit in 4 committees per week, and we end members who are few. So when we were coming up with this report, we ensured that those who were with less committees, we ensured that their names appear in these committees. There below, you can see on Committee on Development, my name is appearing there, and on the Committee on Implementation, Mazajak is appearing there. Health and Emergency Services Committee, Honorable Ndaka is also appearing there. Let members not be confused by this committee, whether it has only one member. These are members who are placed by the committee with a reason. On the Committee of Environment, we end a member from Mandeleo Chapchap, who was a member of that particular committee, but end interest in another committee. So he requested that he be moved from that committee of Environment to Water. So that is where my name is coming. I was in the Committee of Water, so I relinquished that committee. I let him join that committee, and I replaced him in this other committee. So I just wanted to make that comment so that members may not be confused. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, the report is well balanced, and I'm appealing to honorable members to agree with the report. I'm very sure there will be less noise in this assembly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa Kavyu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to support the report on the grounds of that when we began on this house, we made a commitment that the third assembly is going to be a house of equity. And I want to thank you for the leadership that you have shown, and also the leaders, both minority and majority leader, that they have never hesitated on consulting on each other to ensure that we have a well-balanced house. So I wish to support the report because for them seeing the committee on procedures and also on selection for agreeing to split some of the committees that were combined, I believe this will enhance the effectiveness and service delivery by having distinct committees on the roles that have been split. So, and also in terms of membership, the issue of all parties have been taken into account, including even the members of the independent. So it's a balanced report, and I wish to support the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Member for Kinani. Mheshimiwa Brian.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand here to, first of all, thank the Committee on Selection and also the Committee on Procedure under your chairmanship for having gone through to come up with 2 additional committees to accommodate more members. This third assembly is a living testimony where the 2 sides and the 2 leaders, majority, minority, are sitting together for the unity of both the members and the welfare of the county. We were in the second assembly, and I can tell you, nothing of this sort was happening. When leaders consort and leaders agree on equity, that's a major breakthrough in what we are going to do in the next 5 years. I see this house achieving a lot on the basis of we are working together, we are consulting each other, we are not selfish, we are thinking for each other. And personally, I've benefited because I had fewer committees, and the leadership thought about it, and not just me, but other members have also benefited. Madam Speaker, we need to do a lot. I am a very proud member of Health Committee and Lands Committee. And what I'm telling members is that let us move away from talking to action. We want to be guided by, we want to be judged as a house which united together to transform Machakos County. And this is a very good example of how we are going to work together to transform our county. Madam Speaker, I'm still requesting, there are still more committees under your chairmanship. We can still form other committees and make sure they are part and parcel of this house. For example, Women Caucus is a very powerful committee which needs to be recognized in this assembly. I'm not saying Men Caucus also is not there, but Women Caucus was there in the last previous assembly, but it was not recognized as a committee. I strongly feel that we need to add that committee and empower honorable members who are ladies to be able to give us ideas and also help us on a lot of issues which are affecting our women in Machakos, especially cancer. Cancer and issues affecting women who are majority voters. Madam Speaker, there is also another committee on honorable members' welfare. That is a committee, that is an area which is always lying hanging somewhere. No one takes care of honorable members' welfare. And we need a committee to look at taking care of honorable members' welfare, not just honorable members' welfare, but also staff, the entire staff welfare. Those are two committees which we can, if the leadership and together with the procedure committee thinks and deems fit, if we have them, I feel that we can be able to take this house to the next level. Madam Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Brian Kisila. Those are good comments concerning more committees that are very important for this house. Mheshimiwa Anastasia.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for catching my eye. I'm Anastasia from the Great Wiper Party. I would like to thank Madam Speaker for guiding the House and Procedure Rules Committee, which came up with these two committees, which have given business to this House. We are looking forward to learning from you, members of the Speaker's panel. And for the members who have got these committees, we are wishing you all the best, and we want to see your performance, and I support the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa DS.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Stephen Mwanda, representing the great people of Kalakala. Madam Speaker, I too stand to support this report. It is a well-balanced report, and now I call upon honorable members who have been placed in these important committees that never existed, to take up and do the needful, so that we may achieve as county, not only county assembly, but also looking at their mandate. You find that there are committees with great mandate that will need to help this county, Madam Speaker. It has been a high task to achieve such, Madam Speaker, having been a member of the Second Assembly. Madam Speaker, I can say that selection committee only managed to retreat once during the Second Assembly. A second retreat was not possible. So I also wish to thank the honorable members that we are working with in the Third Assembly for their unity, and I can tell it's a unit of purpose. It has been not possible to others, but now it's possible with this Third Assembly. So thank you, and I stand to support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, DS, for well-thought comment. Mheshimiwa Kito.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Philip Mtuandolo, representing the people of Mitaboni Ward. Madam Speaker, I stand just to inform the members that the sharing of the committee was done according to the strength of the parties. That is why you find some parties are having more members than the others. So the party like Wepa, which is having more members, was having an opportunity to have more members in the committee, followed by Mendeleo Chap Chap and the other parties. So these were distributed according to the strengths and the number of the members that each party has in this house. Thank you, I stand to support.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa Johanna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to support this report on a committee on selection, and also congratulate the members who've been located to, or rather appointed to such committees. Madam Speaker, these are very key committees, given that water is a very key factor in the livelihood of the county, and also decentralized units and county administration, where we the coordination of projects right from the grassroots entirely lies on who is given to oversee the implementation as a representative of the executive at either the village level, and that reminds us that we still need to look at the County Government Act and the extent to which it has been implemented in terms of coming up with units like village councils and also the ward or rather village administrators, and I am sure decentralized units and county administration committee will play a key role on that. Madam Speaker, I want also to thank the members because the report indicates in the spirit of fairness and equity, we have seen there are members who relinquished their positions to pave way for other members. That is the spirit we need in this assembly. And congratulate those who have gotten positions in the new committees. At the same time, over time, I've also realized there is also a need for us in the relevant committee to relook at the mandate of the various committees where we have seen some overlaps so that we are sure who is undertaking what in terms of oversight, executing our oversight role through the mandate vested on the said committees. Thank you. I support.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Johana. I now like to invite the mover to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I really would want to thank the whole House because since the issues of committee came up, we have demonstrated unity and give and take while we are forming these committees. I would also want to thank my brother, Mheshimiwa Philip Ndolo, for recognizing that the committees were based actually on party strength. But then you would also want to ask the parties with one member or two members why they are in committee. Our party, like Wiper Party, we were very generous, so that we also make sure we take care of members who are on independent tickets and single member parties. So this generosity should also extend to other business of the House. I plead with the members so that we move forward together. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Majority Leader. I now put the question that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 155, this House approves the appointment of various members to the respective committees as specified in the schedule. We've already read those names. And as many as are of the opinion say aye. Aye. And as many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, request for extension of time to respond on statement requested by Honorable Judas Ndawa on microfinance activities in the county.
May I request Honorable Peter Kilonzo, Chairperson, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, to move the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 195 of the Constitution provides that the County Assembly or any of its committee has power to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. Further aware that Article 183, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 39 2B of the County Government Act 2012, and County Assembly of Machakos Standing Order 41, a statement on institutions must quarantine as microfinance institutions by loaning the residents monies and later auctioning their property, which makes the resident of Machakos not safe, was sought in the House on 18th October 2022. aware that the statement was committed to the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. Acknowledging that in executing its mandate, the committee is doing investigations, hearing evidences from the victims, aware that the committee requested for information from Acting County Secretary on a number of issues relating to licenses, agreements, and the regulatory framework established for the operation of microfinance institutions. Further aware that the committee has asked for documents on operation of the business from microfinance institutions, aware that the county secretary and the microfinance are yet to submit the said documents. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that the House resolves to grant Justice and Legal Affairs Committee 3 weeks to complete the matter and report to the floor of the House on 6th December 2022. I now call upon Honorable Mutie to second the motion.
Honorable Mutie.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Vincent Mutie, the member for Upper Kiowa Ward. I rise up to second this motion that the House grants us an extension, bearing in mind that we are dealing with a very delicate matter where we have to source all the required information and the relevant documentation, so that when we give our recommendations, those recommendations will be based on the facts as they are, and without leaving any information out. So I second this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. I now propose the question that the House resolves to grant Justice and Legal Affairs Committee 3 weeks to complete the matter and report on 6th December 2022. May I now invite members to debate this motion? Mheshimiwa Ndawa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Judas Ndawa, the area MCA Matu, where the business before the House is more serious than other areas of this county. Honorable Speaker, I believe the honorable member of the chair of the committee is requesting for more time. I think he's doing that in what we call it, right, which is the best word, in good faith. But the problem that I have with the extension by 3 weeks, the sensitivity of the matter and the issues right now have been receiving calls from some of the affected parties in the matter under investigation. Madam Speaker, I'm aware and I'm a witness because I also attended. The committee did its best. They toured Matu, they summoned the affected members and also the purported microfinance officers, and they gathered information. And during that sitting, Madam Speaker, the committee made some orders and injunctions. Honorable Speaker, I'm not opposing the extension, but I'm requesting, as we grant them leave to work for next 3 weeks, can the orders be documented and served to the area OCS for compliance? Because we just gave orders and we not put it on paper. Right now, one of the affected party, whose motorbike was confiscated, has been calling to inquire about the fate of the motorbike, and have requested him to go to the area OCS to report the matter, because those who took the motorbike did not have a court order. And that is what we call violence, robbery with violence. Because if you go to pick things from somebody's house without consent, that is robbery violence. The person has gone to the OCS and he has sent a text to me here. And the text says that the committee did not serve him with the injunctions that were issued, and the committee did not give the OCS the list of the affected parties. So the OCS is waiting for that list and those injunctions, so that they can be able to secure and ensure that there is sanity in Matu. Madam Speaker, let me report here, since that time, when the committee came to Matu, there is a lot of harmony in Matu. The committee is the most powerful committee as far as I'm concerned. Even some of the microfinances do not open their offices since that day. They did not step their foot in those offices. So what we are requesting is just a documentation of those orders and injunctions. And I'm very sure everything will be okay. I'm not opposing, I'm supporting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. On that account, if there is any party who has not been served with the order, it's important that they are served. Let everyone be involved in this, and especially those who are concerned and are involved. To you, the chair of that committee. Mheshimiwa Helen Deti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Mheshimiwa Ndawa, I know you are very affected. We are also affected as people of Machakos. I looked at our report, and most of the people affected are women. All those who have taken loans and their items are being confiscated are women. But you know, the law is also, we can't rush into making a quick decision. We need to make sure that we seal all loopholes before we declare them as illegal business people in Machakos County. So I think that is why, as a committee, we have seen the need to ask for more time so that we understand even the documentation they have given us, whether it is a fake or valid. You know, there is a little bit of time that we need so that we do a good report. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Mheshimiwa Ndi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support the motion for extension, more so coming from a senior lawyer who is the chair of the committee. People may not recognize that. He is a man of very many books. So if we thought it wise for an extension up to 6 December, so it be. On a different note, Madam Speaker, I have seen the phone minority leader was communicating with those people, Akabambe. Please, Madam Speaker, next time facilitate us with the tablets so that the minority leader can, because we can take photos, and then when the pupils are up there, they will think we are the same. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Ndi. Well noted. Well noted. Thank you. Thank you, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have all noted, and Madam Speaker, the issue of Minority Leader and the phone, we pray that if we do not have a kitty, then I ask all the members in the House to see it fit that we may contribute some substantive amount. So we said we are one, and he is suffering. I think we will have a committee for that issue with the mission from Madam Speaker. But on a serious note, I would want to support that we give the committees some extension, because they are asking it on the basis of information that was not provided. So they will be hampered in making recommendation without adequate information. You see that they were requesting information from the acting county secretary, and I think, we now have a substantive office holder in that office, and I think for sure, due to issue of transition, the new county secretary will be able to facilitate. So I think I support the extension. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Mheshimiwa Ndwiki, then Mheshimiwa Kavyu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Daniel Ndwiki, representing the great people of Syokimau Mlolongo Ward. I stand here to support. I think we have seen a lot of this happening in our areas. For example, the place where I come from, we have several of microfinances, and we have had different cases of people, business community losing their properties, losing their businesses because of these so-called microfinances, which are not well organized, and this which has laws that oppress the common mwananchi. We will also urge the chairman to extend the ownership branch to the areas of town areas like Mlolongo, because the case is not only in Matu, but it is everywhere. So you should travel all those areas and do intelligence and see how the matters is affecting the people on the ground. So I support the extension and urge the committee to visit various parts of Machakos, because it's a matter affecting the whole Machakos, not just one area of the Machakos. With those few remarks, I beg to support. Thank you.
Mheshimiwa Kavyu, you are the last.
Thank you. Speaker, I would like to support the same and also request the committee, even as they work on the matters that is affecting our people, we can also look at putting in place guidelines or modalities that can ensure, because I believe our people also sometimes they benefit from these microfinances. The only thing that needs to be put in place is a proper guideline, because to ensure that our people are cushioned from losing their property in an unscrupulous manner. So let's look at how we can harmonize and ensure that if there are people who are genuinely doing business, they do it guided by the principle of law, other than pretending to serve our people and at the same time exploiting them. So banning them is an option, but also we can see if there is a room on how we can coexist. And also, even as the committee seeks for a room to prepare the report as requested by the minority leader, they should treat it as an urgent and supply the relevant parties with those documents to ensure those who have lost their items are returned, and also to cushion any other such operators who might still be operating, to make sure that our people are not exploited until a proper mechanism is put in place. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Kavyu. May I now invite the mover of the motion to reply?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I want to thank the Jailer Committee for the good job that you are doing. Also want to thank the honorable members for supporting the extension of the time. I want to promise that we are envisaging to bring a substantial report, because the matter is very sensitive and it touches every corner of Machakos. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I now put the question that the House resolves to grant Justice and Legal Affairs Committee 3 weeks to complete the matter and report on 6th December 2022. And as many as of the opinion say aye. And as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Okay, the House now adjourns to Tuesday, 15th November 2022 at 3 p.m.